I'm just going to see. Oh, here we are. Hi. Uh-oh. Hang on. I'm doing something wrong. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm very good. I had to ask you because I know you have two first names.
Yeah,
So do
yeah.
people call you Morgan or Morgan Victoria?
I usually go like when I'm being like introduced or something, I go by Morgan Victoria, but like if it's like casual, it's like Morgan's
Like,
fine. Some people call me
okay.
Victoria. Like
Okay.
I have so many nicknames, but
I,
yeah.
I know I saw on your clubhouse that you were like Mo Vicky. I like that one.
Yeah, yeah. So in college, one of my friends, they were like, "Yeah, we're not saying Morgan Victoria." So they were like, "We're gonna call you Mo Vicky." And
We're gonna call you Mo Vicky.
I was like,
I
"Okay,
like
it
that
works.
nickname though.
It
I
works."
like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
It has both my names, so I was
Sorry,
like,
I have
"Cool."
my dog and then I'm taking care of my friend's dog and you might hear them in the background. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I guess we have a few people on if you want to go ahead and get started and introduce yourself. Let us know what your money story is and what got you started on your page.
Okay, so I'm working Victoria. Hi, everyone that's here. I'm so glad you guys are here. This is my
I know,
first
right? I'm
Instagram
so
live.
excited. Yes,
So,
it's your first
yeah,
live. Oh my God,
yeah.
we gotta send her tons of hearts and comments, you
Yes,
guys.
thank you.
Yes.
So, for my money journey, I guess, um, I started this page this time last year
Mhm.
because I saw one of my friends was like, "Oh, like I paid off all my student loans, I paid off my car, I paid off
Oh,
this," and I was like he had a really good job. He was working at Apple, and like they flew him out and everything. And I was like, okay, like he makes money. But then he was like, yeah, I did all this with just following Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and I never heard of Dave Ramsey before. I don't
yeah.
follow him right now to this day. Just a forewarning. He got me started on my journey, but I say this a lot on my page. He got me started, but I do not follow his practices anymore.
Yeah.
But it did get my friend debt free, and I was like, I never even thought to like. I was always kind of like okay with money. My mom made it known that you know this
It's
is you got to pay off
important.
your loan. This is how you take out a loan. This is how you pay it off. This is how you use your credit card. She was always very like aware and telling me that, but you know you end up doing what you want at the end of the day. What your parents say
Exactly.
only means but so much
You
until
gotta
you're
do
in
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
agree with you.
I was like, let me just make a page for it, not knowing that there was this whole debt free
Community.
community. And I was like, wow, like this is so cool. I'm like, I kept finding all these pages, and I'm like, oh wow, like I had my face on there first, but then I saw a lot of pages were anonymous, and I was like, oh, okay, like let me be anonymous. And my mom was like, be careful, like what you put on the internet, of course. And I was like, okay, I'll be anon. And then I don't know. I turned 25 in January, and I was like, I want to show my face. Like I want to, you
Get to
know,
know people.
yeah. I'm like, it makes it a little bit more real,
Hmm.
especially like to my friends or people that they're able to put a face to a journey. And I was like, okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. So I've been doing it, and I kind of rededicated myself to the journey on my birthday this year because even though I started this journey a year ago, I had a lot to learn, and I like stacked on like almost $7,000 of credit card debt since I started this journey. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, like I need to
Get it.
recalibrate. There were people that were like, Morgan, like you haven't been posting, or like, oh, to be debt free. They're like, you haven't been posting, and I'm like, yeah, it's because I've done some bad stuff. So
But that's part of
yeah,
the journey. It's part of the process. It
it's
happens.
part of the journey. So yeah, that's my debt free story.
Well, I'm so glad that you started your page because when I started my personal finance page, you were actually one of the first people that I found. Like, because I was like, okay, I need to follow as many finance people as I can, and you were one of the first people that I found. And I think
Wow.
at the time you might have had like a picture or two, but then like you said, you went anonymous, so like there wasn't any pictures. But I was like, I love her stuff so much. I love that she's sharing her journey. Sorry about my tongue. I can see her from the corner here, but yeah, I was like, I love that she's sharing her journey. And I was like, eventually, someday down the line, when I get enough traction on here, I have to do some type of collaboration with her. So when I reached out to you and you were like, yes, I was like, yes.
Yeah, I was like, because I already said, I was like, I'm going to do an Instagram live. I didn't even think to do it with someone because it is a
Yeah.
little easier to do it that way too.
Yeah.
But when you reach out to me, like, you knew, I wrote back to you like almost immediately. I was like, yes, I'll
Yes.
do it.
I was so happy. I was like, I thought she, she might have been like, no, like not right now, because I hadn't seen that you had done one. I don't know if you posted it or not, that was one of your goals, but I was like,
I think I did.
you did probably, and it was like in the back of my mind, subconsciously, and I was like, let me just ask her and see if she wants to do it, because like you said, it is a little easier to do with a person. The first one that I did was with a person. Then when I went by myself, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna talk about? Like, you're talking
Right.
to yourself.
You're like talking to yourself.
Yes, it's so weird to talk to yourself. But I'm glad that, we're together here and doing stuff.
How do I
But
wave to people on here? I've never done that before.
honestly, I don't have the wave button. I don't have the wave button. Oh, but
maybe
you can wave on the side. Yes. Hi, everybody.
I don't think I have that. Instagram.
You don't have it?
I don't even have Reels, so.
Oh my God. Reels is awesome. Honestly, I love Reels. Like, it's a challenge to try to get all that like good information compiled into one 30-second video.
Yeah.
But I love Reels. Love it. Love it. Can you see the comments though?
Yeah, I can see everyone. Okay. So I've just been like,
hi. Just waving. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. And thank you again for hopping on and sharing your awesome tips with the world. So I did have some questions in the question box that I put up. But I'll get to that, I guess, towards the end. And I didn't want this to be like an interviewing kind of thing. I just wanted it to be a conversation. Yeah. But since the topic is about no spend, why don't you go ahead and tell us how many times you've done it, or what even is a no spend challenge for those who don't know? I mean, it's pretty like, no spend, but if you want to dive into letting us know, what it is and how many times you've done it, if you were successful the first time around. So you go ahead.
So I got a lot of questions when I did it last month, and people are like, even my mom, like, so my mom, you'll hear me talk about her a lot because I literally throw every idea off of her. Yeah. And she was just like anytime I were to do something or like spend money, she would be like, I thought you were not spending. And I'm like, that's not how it works. Like,
she's your accountability partner?
Yeah, she's my accountability partner. So she keeps me in check. But she was confused about the process. And even though to us, it may be like, oh, like, yeah, it's a no spend challenge, no spend month. But other people are like, what about groceries? Like, what about gas in your car? And I'm like, okay. Like, so the basis of it and my understanding, everybody's could be different, but my understanding is that you have your essentials and then you have extra stuff. So like your bills, your groceries, whatever's in your budget. So like I have other stuff, like I have fun money, or I have like eating out in my budget. And as long as I stay in those, in those budget items, then I'm fine. But as soon as I deviate from that, then it becomes a spend day. Okay. So I attempted it last year and I didn't understand the concept either. But last month was the month that showed me like, okay, I probably need to include like coffee runs in my budget.
That's important.
Yeah, because I'm not really a coffee drinker, but my new job has definitely driven me to coffee. So,
oh, no.
So I was like, I need to put that in my budget. And I didn't, because I was in between jobs last month, I wasn't sure what my money was going to look like. And I think that's where I messed up. I also set a really unrealistic expectation on last month. And I was like, I'm going to do every day. one trip to Wawa, and I was like, yeah. Okay, like maybe I should have planned a little better. So my first go around was a fail. Not a fail. I learned a lot. So it was a lesson.
Yes.
This month has been awesome because I learned a lot from last month. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself an eating out budget. I'm going to give myself a little bit of fun money. But last month, I got an iPad.
Oh, yes. I remember hearing that story.
iPad story. The iPad got stolen, but it was one of those days where like I didn't need an iPad. Like it wasn't in my budget. I didn't technically have the money, and it was definitely a spend day, but it also showed me what's a need, what's a want, and it allows you to like track your spending habits. So
Right.
this month, I'm proud to say today is 2 weeks strong. I have not
Yeah.
deviated from my budget.
No
But
spend.
yeah, so for people that there are people that have a budget and there are people that don't do budgets. And if either one of those people do a no spend challenge, it's important to just know what your necessities are and what's not a necessity, or
Right.
what's not in your budget. If you're not supposed to buy it or not. So
Yes, I
yeah.
agree. I thought it was really important to mention like whether or not the very first time you did it you were successful, because a lot of people will try to do it the first time and then just like let it go because they'll feel like, oh, I failed at it. But I
Yeah.
love the way that you put it. It wasn't like a fail, it was a lesson. You learned so much from it that this time around you did it. You're 2 weeks in and you're still going
Today.
strong. So and hopefully finish strong. But like myself included, I've only done one. I think it was only one. I've only done one no spend challenge, and I didn't like mess up so much. But like you said, I had a budget in place and stuff like that. And honestly, with how the world is right now, there's not a lot to spend on.
True.
Like I wasn't going anywhere. I was home. I made sure I bought groceries before. But I think that's very important that you mentioned about like making sure you know what are your necessities before you hop into something like that.
Yeah, because if you go on a shopping spree, but that's not something you plan for, like that's definitely a spend day. And not to
Yes.
say that you can't do it, but
Right. I know what you
if you
mean.
have a goal in mind, that's a spend
Yes.
day.
Yes. Yeah. So what kickstarted you to do the no spend challenge in the first place? Was it the iPad?
No, so when I first I guess I've had my page for almost a year now, and
Hmm.
so a lot of people will see that a lot of people in the debt free community do no spend challenges, and I've
Hmm.
seen people like set their goals as like 15 days or the whole month, or a couple
Yeah.
days out of the week, or they'll do like a no spend day. And so I was like, what is up with all these no spend things? So it's been like sitting in the back of my mind for almost a year, and so I was like, I want to do one. Like once I
Yeah.
get my money in order, my budget, like maybe I can do one. So that's why I did it, and I think it'll just probably become a norm for me. It'll keep me in check because I am a natural spender.
Me too.
So
Me too.
I'm like, if I have something, like you kind of have to be like low key obsessed with it. Like if you just start it and then you never look back at it again, you probably won't stick to it. So I've been like a little obsessed with it, and I'm like, well, it's probably saved me it's definitely saved me. How much is an iPad? Like almost $1,000. So
Yes.
it definitely
I'm
saved me
actually,
a
I
thousand
have one
dollars.
here and I feel kind of inspired.
I want one. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get one, but delayed
I love it, but
gratification.
it's like you said, it's like I have a laptop, like I could use. I mean, this is my work iPad anyway, so I
Yeah,
didn't buy it myself. But
I wish my
when I
job
thought
gave me an
about
iPad. I would be so happy.
when I thought about if I have to buy one myself, like I don't know if I will. Maybe if somebody gifted to me, but that's hard to spend that much money like that in one shot.
Right.
It hurts. But so yeah, okay, so what are, I guess, some of the benefits from doing a no spend challenge? So if somebody, I guess, wanted to do one just to try it out, what benefits do you think they will see from doing a no spend challenge?
Yeah, so I think it shows you your patterns. So like I said, I'm a spender, like I'm a little impulsive. So if I see it, I want it 9 times out of 10, I'm probably gonna get it. But while you're on this, like you want to hit your goals. So it's like, okay, if I go out to eat and spend $100 and it's not part of my plan in one night, like obviously there's something there. Or
Mhm.
like if I realize, oh, like I have a budget for clothes for like $50, but I ended up spending $300, like obviously I need to do some self-reflection. So the benefit is, again, knowing what is a want, what's a need, and what's okay if you just buy it. Like you're not,
Yeah.
breaking everything. Like you can get a cup of coffee if it's out of your budget a few bucks,
Yeah.
but not to be so hard on yourself either. So
Yeah.
I think it really teaches you about yourself, how you work with your money, because everybody's journey is different. Like mine is
Hmm.
gonna look different from yours.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, it's kind of like a self-reflection tool almost, I feel like.
I like that. That's a really good way to put it, as a self-reflection tool on how to see how you spend your money and how you like to spend your money.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times people follow a lot of personal finance influencers, and we'll compare ourselves to like our journeys. Like, oh, this person.
Yep.
There's tons of people in this community who are like, I paid $100,000 off in 1 year, and I'm like, that's
Like, I don't
great.
even make that much.
So right. I'm like, I'm so happy for you. But if you know, you gotta assess yourself. Like, that's not always gonna be the case for everybody, you know, and that doesn't make it any less good because
Yeah.
it's taking you a little longer. I just think that's really important to think about, you know.
Yeah,
'Cause
I think that's
comparison.
another reason why I made this page too, because I'm like, like I don't think I'm like the typical person. Like I don't stay on track. I told you I put myself more in debt when I started this journey than before. So I'm like coming from okay, like I mess up here and there. I'm human. Like I get a lot of like DMs and they're like, you're so transparent. And I'm like, this is literally my diary. Like you guys understand me the most when I mess up. Y'all cheer me on and you're like, you can do it. So I'm like, of course I'm gonna keep posting.
Right. Like, who else is going to cheer you on when you make a mistake?
Only the
Because I'm not
debt-free
going to cheer
community.
myself on.
But only this debt-free fam.
I love it. I love it. Honestly, it's such an awesome community because you gain so much like knowledge, but also the support that you're not receiving from yourself. So I love this
Right.
personal finance community. But yeah, so what are some of the things you did before starting the challenge to make sure that you were successful this time around?
So for this month, I think I did a post last month and I was asking people what budgeting tools that they use, because some people are good at Excel. I'm not. I already know that's not my strong suit. So I was like, what are y'all using? Yeah, I was like, what are y'all using? Because I was trying to get away from Every Dollar. Like I really loved Every Dollar, but yeah, just moving away from that. And then everybody recommended YNAB or You Need a Budget. And I set that up. I watched so many videos. I was like, you know what? I think I know the dogs.
Sorry, and they were taking a nap this whole time. And the moment I get onto live,
that's what happens.
They're just gonna be all over the place. But go ahead. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, so I was able to like really set a budget. I learned that, I like to go out to eat. So I'm like, I'm gonna just give myself $100. At least for the first part, because what I like about YNAB, which is a whole nother conversation I could have, is that they make you budget the money that you do have. So I'm like, okay, I can take $100 from this one paycheck and use it as my going out. I've literally used like half of it on Wawa alone. I don't know if you guys know what Wawa is, but it's like, I don't know.
We don't have Wawa here, but when I have gone, because my fiance has family in Philly, and when we've gone over there, we have stopped by like Wawa's, and my fiance loves the grilled cheese.
Yes.
He's like, I love Wawa's, so I know what it is. But in case anybody else doesn't know,
yeah, like I don't know if it's considered like it's like a convenience store,
yeah, like a 7-Eleven kind of.
Yeah, kind of like that, but
better.
Better, yeah. So I was like, I need to put Wawa in my budget because I go there at least twice a week.
Yes, so I did the same with Starbucks, so I feel you.
Yeah, I'm like, I had to get away from Starbucks. I used to do that a lot in college, so they've taken a lot of money from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, I had to put that in my budget. And what else did I put? I like going out with my friends. So like most of the times we go out to eat. So again, my food budget had to be put on there because last month I was like, okay, all my spend days had to do with me going out to eat.
Oh.
And so I was like, okay, that's how I set myself up for success. I was like, all right, let's be real, Morgan. One, you're not going to do a whole 31 days of March. Like, don't even set the goal for 31 days. Don't lie to yourself. So I set it to 25, which is still, I feel like, overreaching.
It's a lot still. But
I was like, okay, we'll step back because I had my goal for February the whole month. That didn't happen. But yeah, so those two things, being realistic with my budget and about what I was going to do regardless. And then two, setting realistic date expectations because life happens. Like this month I forgot that I had to do my car registration. So I'm like, I'm not going to include that as a
A
as a
spend.
spend day, like because it's necessary and I can
Hmm.
still put it in my budget.
It still
So
fits around there.
yeah, but being realistic with yourself, that really set me up for success. And talking to the debt free community, like, talk to people who have done no spends and be like,
Yeah.
hey, what did you do? What has worked for you? So I talk to everybody. So
Yeah. So
that set me up for
if
success.
anybody wants to do a no spend challenge, now you have a Morgan.
Hit me
Now
up.
you can hit her up and be like, what the hell did I do? But I forgot to mention that one of the questions that got put in the question box was actually asking, what do you do, like if you do spend, like if you're doing that challenge and you do spend, like if you mess up and buy something, do you add another day? Is was the question here.
No, I think you acknowledge it that it was a spend day
Yeah.
because you learn from it. Like, and don't beat yourself up about it. Be kind to yourself. It happens. We're human.
I
Like,
agree.
if you mess up and do it, then it's just like, you know what? So you can go back and be like, yeah, in March I bought that one thing. Did I really need it? Probably not. I probably won't do that again next month. And if I do, it's fine as long as I don't get too crazy.
Yeah.
So it's unrealistic to think that we can be perfect in this challenge. So
Right.
yeah.
I agree. I like that answer. I
Yeah.
like that answer too. All right. So, do you keep some rules for yourself during this challenge to I guess to be more successful?
Um, Look at my budget every day.
Every day.
Like I said, you got to be a little like crazy obsessed with it. Like, make sure I look at my budget. If I do spend something, log it. Um, Again, be kind to myself. So last month I got this perfume that I've been like
One.
watching for the past couple months, and I like could not find it for a price that I like. But Sam's Club had it for $35, and I was like,
Oh,
it's like an $80 perfume, and I was like, I cannot pass that
pass
up.
this up. Yeah.
So I was like, I was talking to my mom. She's like, no, you're doing a no spend. And I'm like, okay, like, I think
Yeah.
I can take this one day to buy this perfume. So, like, having a conversation with myself. So, like, rule number one is like, okay, Morgan, do you need this? Do you really want it? Like, how long have you been waiting for it? Can you wait? Like, and so it ended up being a good decision because every time I've gone back to Sam's Club, it's not there. Like, it's
Oh,
not
so it
there.
wasn't good.
And then
Yes.
everywhere else it's still $80. So I'm like, that was a
Oh,
really good decision. You know,
okay.
that's why I said the no spend challenge is about being real with yourself, and you become more aware as you go. You learn more as you go. You can look back and be like, oh, like that was a really bad purchase, but in the moment it seemed really great. But then you
Yeah.
learn from it in the next month. So the rule: be kind, check your budget,
Every day.
have conversations with yourself, be
Yes.
real. Those are my rules for my no spend challenges.
You were saying that you're like obsessed with it, but I honestly I feel you because when I do my budgets, I actually look forward to looking at it. Like when
Yeah.
I go back and review like before I get paid each time to see what I actually spent and if I'm sticking to my budget. But I actually look forward to doing that. Like it feels good. Like you're replacing the I guess the spending mindlessly with looking at your budgets and making sure that everything's like going well. But yeah, I like
Yeah.
those rules. Those are easy, simple rules to follow for a no spend challenge.
Yeah.
So like, check in with yourself, be kind, and check your budget every day.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
go over there.
I was not always obsessed with my budget. So like it was fun doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, like I can do this. And then I would never look at it again. But
I
like,
know.
it's growth. It happens over time. Like I said,
Yes.
I've been on this journey for a year. I'm just now starting to get the hang of it. So
Yes. I try to stress that so much to people because it took me years to finally get a good groove. Like, I mean, before I would just be like, I'm making a budget, but it would be something that I wouldn't follow. I
yeah.
wouldn't put anything in place to follow it. But now is that I'm like in a good place, or for the past, I don't even know how long anymore. But I just think it's so important to remember, like, it takes a lot of trying and
Trial and error.
doing it again.
Yep.
But all right, so I don't know if you want to get into the Q&As now, but if anybody's on the live and they want to ask questions, there is a little question box all the way in the bottom to your right, next to where you write comments. You can ask any questions that you want. Please don't be shy because we're here to help each other at the end of the day. But
and if I don't know, I'm pretty sure I know somebody that knows.
yes, and you're in the right place. You're in the right live. Okay, so one of the first questions that we got in the question box was, does it count as a no? Does it count as a spend if I buy things with a gift card? I don't know. That's a good question.
That is a good question because, like, I don't know. If it's not budgeted for, and this is like, I don't know if you've seen those memes where it's like, my toxic trait is like so and so. Like, my toxic trait is that if it's extra money and I haven't budgeted and I don't need to budget it, then it's free game.
It's free
So
game.
like, I last week I think I posted like I found $20 while I was like at a park, and so I used it this week. I didn't budget for it. I'm like, this is free money. So listen, it's a gift card. Have fun.
Right.
That's how I feel.
I think, like, I agree with you, but I also think that it depends on what you're doing the challenge for. So if you're doing the challenge to try to like lessen how much you spend, then maybe save the gift card for later because you're trying to not spend. So if you're just giving yourself the okay to spend, then you're not really helping your habit. Yeah. But if it is that you're just trying not to spend your own money and trying to save some cash,
right.
Use it all.
Oh yes, I see Abby said, but I don't ever spend under on a gift card. Oh yeah, okay, that's where you get messed up when you're like, oh yeah, like, oh, this is like $50. I have 75 on my gift card, but I can just spot the rest. Nah, then you messed up. Then you just spend it.
It's happened to me too with a Macy's gift card. I was like, well, it has $50 on it. The sneakers cost $95. I could just,
right. Unless it's in your budget. So exactly. I'm like, oh, I still have $15 left in my food budget. Like, okay,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think Money with Mocha. Oh, I like your name. I used to go. My nickname was Mocha in college too.
You have a lot of nicknames.
I know. I have a lot of nicknames. Do you track how much money in your savings? If so, what do you do with the money?
What's the question? Oh, I see it. Do you track how much money? Oh yeah, I don't know about you, but
yeah. In my budget, I track how much I'm saving.
Yeah, I track it. Like when I'm doing my budget, I do have how much I'm putting towards savings. I stopped funding my emergency fund so that I can more aggressively, so I can more aggressively tackle my debts. But I still fund like my wellness savings. I still fund my dog's savings account. And I do keep track of that in my finance journal. I have like a little highlighter. One day I'm gonna have to show this finance journal, even though it's a whole bunch of chicken scratch.
It's okay. Somebody's gonna be able to read it and take something from it.
It's a mess, but I understand it, and that's what matters. But I have like different highlighter colors, like, and it's like this little ladder so that I could reach the savings goals. But that's the way that I keep track of my savings.
Yeah.
And I have it on auto save, so I don't think about it too much.
I haven't gotten there yet in my journey. No autosave for me quite yet. The money you're saving from not spending on your no spend days. So I know for me, so like I have a savings goal in my budget. So for no spending, as long as I'm within my budget, like there's no real like additional, there shouldn't really be any more. And I'm coming from a you need a budget YNAB budgeting app perspective.
Method, yeah.
So like I'm zero-based budgeting. An extra spend day is not in my budget. So if I have a spend day and it's not in my budget, it's not in my budget. So I'm not technically saving any money by not spending. I'm just sticking to my budget. So yeah, so that's how my things go. It could be different for other people though. Like you could actually like save less or save more money. And you're like, oh, like I saved $100 more than what I budgeted for. And then you're like, okay, I'll just put in my savings. But for mine, I have a zero-based budget. So
I love zero-based budget.
If I spend, that means it's coming from somewhere else. That means I have to take for myself.
Yeah. When you mentioned the thing about the perfume, I guess if you were to see the perfume and I'm assuming you just rearrange something else in your budget to make it happen. So you're not using your credit card.
Yep. To buy. I was like, okay, that just means I have 2 less Wawa trips. Yeah.
let me see. I got a notification here, but for the questions, and then it just disappeared. I don't know if the person maybe took off the question or they unasked it. I don't
Oh
know.
no.
No, but there's one more question here. Let's see. Oh, I guess you kind of answered this one already. Is there an app you use to keep track of the days you don't spend and use?
Oh, so yeah, my budget is my budget, but my tracker, like you'll see on my page, I have a tracker.
Hmm.
I do that in Canva, and like every day I just update it. So I have different colors right now. Like if I do well, it's black right now. If I don't do well, it's gray. Last month it was like tan and dark brown. So like I was able to like post that so that people could visually see like when I spent and then when I didn't. So right now it's all black because I'm doing.
Yes, I didn't know that you had it color coordinated like that. Like, oh, if you did well, and then
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah,
I'm a very visual person too, so I like when the if I'm not gonna show you my calendar because it's also chicken scratch, but but I have it color coordinated too. Like anything that's in blue is like personal, purple is for work. I love color coordination. As if you go to my page, you can definitely see that.
yeah, yeah.
But I just think it keeps things organized. I'm not gonna share that. I was gonna share something, but that's a little too TMI.
Okay.
It was just of my my clothes, how I have it organized in color. Not my clothes, my undergarments.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
I
I'm a
like to
little
see it that way. I don't know. I'm just a visual
yeah, like
person,
my
but
closet. I don't know. Now I'm going a little off topic, but like I
oops,
don't know if
sorry.
you've watched oh when what
Marie
is the name of
Kondo,
the show? No. Oh, Queer Eye. So
Queer Eye.
Queer Eye, there's a guy named Tan and he does the fashion part. And so he had someone organize their closet by like color and I don't know, item. And so ever since then, now my closet is like I can see the white, the black, the gray, the green, the orange. Like so my
But it works for you,
I'm a
right?
little type A sometimes.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Please don't squeak that. Sorry about the dogs in the background. I know that they're a little bit of a distraction. I'm
It's
so
okay.
sorry. All right, so the last question that I had for you was, and I know you mentioned this in the beginning, what are some of the mistakes that you made that maybe you could share with people who want to start a no spend challenge? That those mistakes, you, I guess, found ways to make your new no spend challenge better. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So the mistake I made was not not having the dialogue with myself when I was feeling the urge to spend or when I was actually like pulling out my credit card saying like instead of just saying, okay, like, do you need this right now? Is this a want? Like, can it wait? Like, like, is it absolutely needed in this very second? I didn't have those conversations with myself. And so I know for me personally, when I ignore myself at all costs, I know I'm doing something bad. It's just like, so we'll use the dogs, for example. Like, you know, your dog, when they mess up, they know, they look at you like,
oh, they know.
but they'll try to avoid you. So that's like what I do with myself. And I'm like, if I'm avoiding it, something's wrong. If I don't have that dialogue, so I've gotten better with having conversations with myself. Like, you know, normalize having conversations with yourself. Morgan, you don't need that. Like,
Yeah.
you do not need it right now. It's not going anywhere. You can get it. But if you really feel like you absolutely need it, then, you know, get it. But yeah, so I messed up with the iPad situation, but I don't know, God, the universe, somebody was like,
The high
well, you really don't need it because we're gonna have somebody steal it from you.
So question for you, did you get your money back at least?
Yes, Apple was efficient. The next day they refunded me and I was just like, okay, like I can wait. I can wait till I save up for it. I'm gonna pay off my credit card debt first. And yeah, so
that's awesome. Honestly, I was scared for you. I was like, no, don't.
Yeah.
You bought it through Apple, so.
I think I would have been more mad like if I had saved for it and it was my money and I really, you know, if it was that kind of situation. But like after it happened, I was like, okay, like clearly something is working out for you because you knew you wasn't supposed to have that iPad. So yeah. I was like, okay, I'll admit to defeat and I wait. But yeah,
Yeah, you're
that's the
waiting.
only thing that I kind of messed up on. Yeah, not having those conversations with myself. So like if y'all see me like go MIA for like a week or so, like I'm probably doing something bad. I probably didn't listen to my inner self.
Oh
And
no.
but I've been trying to stay on top of things.
If I see that you haven't posted in a few days, I'm gonna hit you
Right.
up like, hey, you doing all right?
Please check on me.
I'll have to be your online buddy. Like, hey, I
Right.
noticed you haven't been online a few
If
days.
I deactivate my page, I probably got a Louis bag. So
No, you had to go the whole extra mile. Like I'm deactivating.
right,
This.
like y'all can't see me mess up this bad. But
That is so
oh, I see
funny.
one. How do you motivate yourself on difficult days? Um, before, like 2020, Morgan would go buy something.
Oh no!
But now, Morgan, I will literally make a post in the debt free community. I'll make a story. I'll be like, hey, y'all, I'm having a bad day. Help. Because, like, the people in my real life, they're supportive, but it's a different kind of support. Like,
Mm-hmm.
from this community, we're all kind of going for the same things, whether it's paying off debt, building wealth, learning, more about financial whatever. So, everybody has had their bad days on the journey. So, I'm like, hey, y'all. Hey, debt free fam, help. Like, this is a cry for help. Please give me some motivation today. Or, I'll look at my budget and I'll be like, you have goals. I'll look at my credit card debt and be like, you're so close. Like, keep going. But yeah,
Yes.
my debt free fam has been super helpful on the difficult days. And like I
Yes.
said, I went MIA to a certain point and people checked up on me, which was pretty cool.
That is cool. That is cool. And I feel like you have such a good I don't want to call it fan base because it's not a fan base, but like a follower base. Like,
they're my family. I feel
yeah,
like.
they are your family because even in your comments, I see the support that you get. I'm like, wow, that's so beautiful. Like,
Yeah, we all got the same goals, so we're like,
yes,
it's easier to do together.
I'm really happy that my page grew pretty fast. But I tell people all the time, like that the follower count, like I talk about it as a way to show progress for like, you can work hard and see progress in something.
Yeah.
But really the goal is to like get people engaged and to talk about like their finances and their struggles and ask the questions that maybe they don't feel comfortable asking their family and friends because those are not easy conversations to have.
They are not.
But you know what? Ever since starting this page though, now there are conversations that come up within family and friends, and we'll be like, "Oops!"
They know who to come to.
We're talking about it now, so whatever.
Right. What did Abby say?
Abby said, "I remember my goals. Why I am budgeting. I meditate on that feeling of how good it will feel when I'm debt free." Yes. Yes.
I just got warm, fuzzy feelings.
Yeah. Like close your eyes and picture
Right.
yourself on that tropical island.
Like,
right. Yes. Yes. I'm so happy that I got to like chat with you on this live. Thank you so much again for coming on the live. Hopefully we could do another one on your page.
Oh,
you can invite me. This.
Yes.
But I hope you guys gained a lot of value from the videos. I'm gonna save the video in case anybody wants to like rewatch it or share it with a friend. And I think I'm gonna save it and be able to send it to you so you can save it on your page too.
Yeah, because I do have IGTV. No reels, but I have IGTV, so I'll put it on. It'll be my first IGTV post. So
yes, yay! We're doing things here. Yes. We're creating new things. But thank you guys again so much for joining. I don't know if you have any closing thoughts or anything that you want to say before heading out.
Oh, just like since we were on like the follower conversation.
Yeah.
I think I made a post about this like 6 months ago, but I was saying like based on like because I never made the page so that like I could get a bunch of followers and be a financial guru influencer. I that's not where I'm trying to be right now.
Yeah.
But I literally only follow people in the debt-free community. And so once people like regular pages, people's personal pages and like random pages started following me just to like stay on top of my journey, and they'll write to me and like take you know, take interest in what I'm doing. I'm like, wow, like it's cool that, like, you know, not everybody has a debt-free page, and that's fine. But there are people that are looking at it, and I'm like, that was like me when I started. I'm like searching, I'm like, oh, there's this whole community, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
But just I don't know, like a shameless plug. I know as soon as I hit 2K, I'm probably gonna do a giveaway. I'm
Yes.
not that far from it now, so I was like, wow, like that happened fast.
Go
So
follow. Go
yeah,
follow. If
if
you're
y'all
not
follow
already,
me,
go follow her.
I'm gonna ask my stories like, what are they interested in? Because I'm like, I don't know what to give away. But
Yes. I was
I'm
gonna
like,
do
you
that
know,
for 1K, but I'm like, I'm still small beans. I'm small,
listen, you
small.
popped your champagne. Next step
Yes.
is a giveaway.
If you guys didn't know, when I hit 1K on the page, I was like, I asked you, I was like, is it too early to pop champagne?
5 o'clock somewhere.
I have never actually used that because it was like what, a Thursday or something, so it was a work day.